Policy meeting in order. You take vote, please.
Mrs. Butler.
Yes.
Here. Mrs. Donahue.
Here.
Mrs. Kiplinger.
Here.
Mr. B.
Here.
Mrs. Leskowitz.
Here. Same allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Then could I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
So I had sent an email earlier to move the executive session to after the treasurers and superintendents. Like at the end of the meeting, like where it should be. So I was wondering if we could do that.
But I don't think it has to be. I mean, did you put it on for a reason?
I just, the attorney's jumping on the Zoom call. So I just need to let him know if we're going early or late. That's all. Doesn't matter to me. But you'd have to. You want to change it?
That's fine. Okay. But just knowing that sometimes we have to put them earlier, sometimes we have to put them in other places. They won't always go.
I understand that, but I just think that it's a lot to ask people to sit and wait for an unknown amount of time, you know, through the executive session, if we can avoid it.
Yeah.
I understand that there are times when.
Yeah,
it
last
might
time
be
we had a couple people zoom in
Mhm.
and I think the one schedule, but I think we can accommodate that. I just need to know.
Thank you.
Flex it out.
So if it's not, then go ahead and move it. If it does cause problems, we'll just leave it.
Yeah, I had actually called him before. And told him I didn't know when it would be. Big too. So he's okay.
All right, then let's do it again. And now we got public participant. I'm sorry.
I'll move.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I'll second.
And no more discussion? Will you take roll, please?
Mr. B.
Yes.
Mrs. Butler.
Yes.
Mrs. Donahue.
Yes.
Kiplinger.
Yes.
Mrs. Leskowitz.
Yes. Now we have public participation. Julie?
I really don't need to come up because that was going to be my comment to say, if you could move the executive session to the end. I know sometimes you can't, but when you can, we would appreciate it. Like last time we had to sit here for 2 hours.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Mine, but you know, I could be using some other. That was my comment.
Look
Thank
at
you.
us. Look at us reading your mind.
Ms. Donna?
Donna Hughes, 9360 South Man Road, Tip City, Ohio. I have 3 things. I like to donate these books from the BBC for history, so I don't know where to send them because I don't put them to trash. Go back to the school to take them.
Okay.
Number 2, I called your secretary, forgot to send you an email about having Bethel school workers at the polling. They get paid. During the 24 presidential election, we had 2 bulldogs from West Milton, so I'd rather have a bee than a bulldog. And they get paid. Number 3, who do I talk to about talking to the history teacher handing out free US constitutions with highlights in it?
The booklist we talked about.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so,
You can talk to Barrett Swope, but you can give them to me or we can set up a meeting.
yeah, because I want to get them from Hillsdale.
Yeah.
And what I do is I highlight some points for them to look for reference, quickly for reference, like the 27 items that Declaration of Independence has, why we wanted to separate from England. So those are my statements. So I will get back with you, get back to Mr. Hunter. And also I do like your 50 seconds. I do like all the information on the Bethel, and I found another Bethel site that I wasn't aware of, so I'm gonna be looking for more of them.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, there's like 5 now, I think I found. So thank you.
Yeah, if you want to give me that magazine, you know,
I kept one because I like this.
and what I'll do is you just give me a call or you got email me or call and we'll set up a
Okay,
time to come.
because I definitely wanted you to to schedule that. They said normally the history teachers contact the elections. But I don't know any of the history teachers. I know you guys.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Yeah, because
And
we need young knees because those old knees are not good.
No, yeah, I get it. I get it. And I'll talk to Mr. Fisher as well.
Will they be able to be eligible for any bonus points for school for working besides the pay?
I think it's community service.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so they could lock out 2, get paid, and do something, yeah. Twofer.
I like twofers.
You too.
Win-win. Thank you, thanks.
That was all we had for that, treasurer's report.
Yay. So it is that time again, it's 5-year forecast time, and it's a month earlier than what we're used to. Because the legislature changed the dates and the requirements regarding the 5-year forecast. So what I've done is the board docs has the five-year forecast, the assumptions, and then I added this slideshow on board docs as well. And it's for anybody who wants to see it. But I thought we'd go through the slides because there's a lot of numbers. There's a lot of words. And so for me, it's just better to highlight and summarize and pull out the important stuff. So you can go to the next.
My heading away. I can move.
Yeah.
Making sure.
Yes.
Courteous.
So as I mentioned, this is a requirement from the state of Ohio. The current state biennium budget changed the requirements of a 5-year to a 4-year. So what we will file with the state of Ohio will only go through fiscal year 29. But what's before you and what we're going to approve goes all the way through 2030, because we still believe that it's worthy of planning for 5 years, even though the state's not requiring that. So that's what is before you. The dates that we have to file these, as I mentioned, it's moved to October this year and the end of February. It used to be November and May. So this year it's October 15th, not even the end of October 15th and the end of February. Next year, it moves to the end of August and the end of February, which is going to be quite challenging. Just to review, the 5-year forecast only includes the general fund and any debt associated with the general fund, as well as if you have any emergency fund, and we do have an emergency fund here. So that's what's included in the 5-year forecast. So we go to the next slide. Again, what is the purpose of this? It is so that we can look long range and make plans and look down the road and see if there are issues or challenges, and we can plan for those. It's also the document that we serve for our certification ability. So as an example, when you enter into negotiations and you look at certifying a contract, you have to look at that 5-year forecast to tell you whether you can certify the length of a contract. For an example, if we were showing a deficit cash in 2029, we could not certify a contract that would go through 2029. So that's another basis for what we use this for. And then it also enables the state and the auditor of state's office to take a look at this and to see if there are any districts who are really going to be in financial problems, and they're going to come in early and they're going to say, you need to have a plan, and what is your plan to alleviate the debt?
They wouldn't come in with funding, right?
No,
Just come in with.
no, they don't have any additional funds for you. They just come in to help you figure out what your plan is, which is
Cut stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Right.
yes, they just don't. So the key line items with the 5-year forecast, you're gonna have revenues and expenditures. And it's gonna also look at, what portion of that is local versus state. And then your expenditures are gonna be broken into your people, your salaries, and your benefits, your purchase services, supplies and materials are the main things. So what are those notable revenue assumptions? So when we look at our state foundation funding, we receive over half of our money through that revenue line item. And what happened with the new state biennium budget? They did fully phase in the Fair School Funding Plan. And so it will be at 100% fully phased in by next year, the second year of the biennium. Great, fabulous. It adds an additional $2 million more annually to Bethel, so that's good news. The only thing that I will say, when in relation to this, it's great that they are moving forward with the funding plan, but when they look at it, because it's a partnership between how much the state share is and local share is. Well, what they've done is they've said, okay, we're going to look at your current wealth factors. So we want to know what is your current ability to pay, but we're going to base what you're paying on 2022 costs. So it's not balanced. So what happens is our local share is more than what it should be. So I just want to point that out. The other thing that was really good for Bethel is this new state biennium budget included an enrollment growth supplement. So we know that we are seeing additional enrollment here, and so we qualify for that, but we are not assuming that it will remain after 2027 because we don't know what the next biennium budget will include. So we've got that taken out starting in 2028. Local property taxes. We are currently, if you don't know, the county is out there looking at all the properties this year, and they are going to assess the values, complete revaluation from Miami County. And those new property taxes will see those new values in calendar year 26. So the tax bills that go out in January or February will be relative to those new values. We're assuming that the increase will be 9%. The last 3-year update was 18.6%. So we believe this is a conservative increase that we're estimating, but I will also say, based on all of the changes that they're wanting to make to school districts that are at the 20 mil floor and limiting the growth, I just really believe we should be conservative here, and this might not be conservative enough. We're going to find out. Because we are at the 20 mil floor, like I mentioned, with residential and agricultural values. Our TIF revenues, which are about 17% of our revenue here, is based on, it's also going to increase as our valuation increases. And we do not have any additional revenue based on Carriage Trails 2.0 included in this forecast yet. So more to come. We're learning more about that as it goes. And our income tax, which is 10% of our revenue, we're assuming a 2% annual growth with that revenue line item. So when you look at the total pie chart, 43.5% of our total revenue comes from local sources, and the state sources is over half of our revenue. And what has our revenue trends looked like, and what are we forecasting? And you can see those variations, and this is quite typical when you see a growing district. And I just went all the way back to 2016, which was right about 10 million. And by the end of this forecast, we're predicting 30 million. So that's That's quite a bit of change in that period of time. In 23 and 24 is where you see the majority of those increases in your state revenue, almost doubled during that time as well. And so let's go to the next chart because I think this next chart is also kind of interesting. The blue bar is local revenue and the state is indicated in red. And look how that has changed over time as well. Back in 2023, the majority of your money came from your local revenue. And that has totally
Because we were
shifted.
capped.
Yes,
Mhm.
and it's totally shifted now. And you're getting funded for the students you educate. And so those are good things. Okay, go to the next slide. Now we're gonna move to the expenditure side of the equation. Our wages, just like any service industry, it is no surprise that your people are gonna be the biggest piece of that pie, coming in at 74%. So your wages is over half of your expenditure line item. The wage increases that are predicted and are assumed this year, it's 2.5% increase. Next year, 2.75. In 2027, 2.5%. And that's beyond all the way is 2.5%. And then 2% step increases is what we typically see as on an average, and that is included in the wages as well. We are predicting an additional 5 staff members for the remainder every year for the forecast. I'd say that could go up or down depending on the need, but we do have that in the assumptions. For benefits, we are predicting a 10% health insurance premium increase annually. That's based on our national trends. Luckily, we have not seen that here. This year, I think it's 5%. But that's what we're hearing. That's what we're seeing around the country. So again, trying to be conservative, I think that's the right thing to do. Our purchase services, which are 20% of our costs, we're assuming a 3.5% annual average increase, as well as our supplies and materials, which are 4% of our costs. Any questions? Because I've gone over quite a bit, so let me know.
Thank you for what you did.
I like
it.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's where the story comes in, right?
Yes.
The numbers are tell a story, so.
Yes.
Okay, we can go to the next. Just like the revenues, I went ahead and put together the operating expenditures trend and assumptions as well, so that you can see going all the way back. Your budget has, just like your revenue has tripled, your budget has tripled as well. And so you can see those increases, and then what we're predicting moving throughout the forecast. And I mentioned, the 10% increase in healthcare, 5 additional staff members. Well, when, a large percentage of your total expenditures are in people, it's no surprises that you do see those increases in expenditures predicted. So the next chart is going to take a look at revenues and expenditures together, as well as the cash. And so notice at the bottom where it's got a deficit spending, which means we're spending more than we're bringing in. It happened in 2025. We can talk about why that was. And then we're predicting that it will happen again in 29 and 30. But our cash balance, I want to also mention the purple line and the green. That's your cash balance. And it will remain positive through fiscal year 30. And it's also going to remain above that threshold, which is the benchmark is you should have at least 60 days cash in the bank. And even in 2030, we're predicting that it will be above that threshold. The reason why you see the difference in the purple and the green, because we do have a levy, a substitute, a 10-year levy that it does expire. And so if you renew, that's what the difference there is, but we cannot assume that money moving forward. And that's a 10-year substitute emergency levy that expires in calendar year 28, and it generates $531,000 for the district. The next chart just kind of shows more of that cash balance, and the line, remember I said, and it's above that 60-day threshold. You can see that based on that black line there, it is above the threshold. This is just one more that just kind of shows you the total number of days, cash balance, true days cash. So some good news here. Now we're going to go to the next chart, which is not so much good news. These are the concerns, the legislative concerns. If you haven't heard, there is a group of individuals who are trying to gather signatures to get a constitutional amendment put on the ballot to abolish property taxes. That's very concerning, not just for schools, but for municipalities, counties, anybody who relies on revenue from property taxes. So just making sure everybody's aware of that. And boy, it might sound good to say, yeah, I don't want to pay property taxes. Okay, you're going to pay something. So if it's not property taxes, what's it going to be? What's the replacement? So sales tax, income tax, something. And schools only have two ways of getting revenue: an income tax and property taxes. So if you take that away, it's going to be challenging. There's also a legislative push to provide local property tax relief. The governor put together a work group, and that work group came out with a report and recommendations by the end of September. So that is out there. There are quite a few legislative proposals that would limit options for schools at the 20 mil floor. And the governor vetoed quite a few of those, but those vetoes have been overridden just in the past week. So our ability and our options to go on the ballot is limited. And we'll see what that means in the future. They're still trying to figure that out. If one of the proposals is limiting the revenue increases from, so we're going through a revaluation. What one of the proposals would do is it would say, remember, said we've got 9% included in there is our estimate what the increase would be. What one of the proposals says is if you're at the 20 mil floor, we're going to limit that growth. And you're going to be capped at 2-3%. So it would not go over that. So that's a concern. And then the limit revenue increases from inside millage. They're wanting to cap that at 3%. And then they want to expand the authority of the county budget commission. Who is the county budget commission? It's 3 elected officials. It's the county auditor, county treasurer, and county prosecutor. And what they would have the ability to do is, let's say, for example, we'd have to file our 5-year forecast. They take a look at our tax budget. And based on this, if they believe that we have excessive collections, they could say, we're going to cut some of your millage and you're not going to collect all of that. So just from all angles, there's so many different proposals out there, and I get it. Like, I do believe that property tax relief is real. There are people who are challenged to stay in their homes based on their property tax bill and the increases they've seen. But help those people who need it instead of some of these widespread. I feel like it's just kind of overarching, like it's going a little too far here. So the 5-year forecast is based on what we know right now. If these things change, then the assumptions will change and the numbers will change, and we'll keep our eyes on it and we'll let you know as we're keeping our ear to the ground. And I know Mike hears from the superintendent group, and I hear from the treasurer's group and our lobbyists, and
Yeah.
we'll.
And we just had passed last week, so
Mhm.
they had their updates as well.
Uh,
Similar.
Yes, very similar. So that's it. Any questions?
Okay, I have a couple.
Okay.
Do you know how much growth you have to qualify for that, like growth bonus or whatever we're calling them?
I believe
Percentage?
it's 5%. Let me find it. I think it's 5%.
Is that the supplement?
Yeah,
If you go
give you like
to, if you go to page 9 of the notes,
Okay,
page 9, the notes, and you look under state funding. The third paragraph, the enrollment growth supplement is paid. It's $225 per student for this year, and then $250 per student next year. To be eligible, you must equal or exceed 5% growth from 2022 to 25. And then for next year, your enrollment growth needs to equal or exceed 3% between 2023 and 2026. And we're gonna get it both years. So,
and so sorry, the other one, so the deficit spending that we have this year, is that due to what?
So the deficit spending we had last year in FY 25.
Okay,
And let's talk about what happened at the very end of 2025.
oh, I remember now, yeah, we did the switch to the money into the
Yes.
fund. Okay,
Because speaking of legislative concerns, remember we were hearing, and it was actually part of the I think Senate and House version, the maximum amount of cash that you can have in your general fund was going to be limited. So what we did is we transferred money, and you'll see that on line 5010, last year, 2.6 million. We transferred that money into a fund to be used for capital projects. So that money is sitting there. So that's why you actually saw a spending deficit last year.
and I mean, you kind of briefly touched on it, but has there been any talk about, with the property tax relief and all that stuff, like, are they throwing out ideas for replacement revenues? I mean, obviously the state has to get their money somehow too, because they're not gonna not get it.
Right.
So.
I have not seen any numbers, but I do know that I have talked to people who have been in conversations that they have been pulling information in to see that how much would it take from a sales tax?
That's
How much would it take
Like a
from
consumption tax?
a statewide income tax to replace? So I do know that they're looking at what would it look like? How much more would we have to pay in an income tax or a sales tax if it went away? I have not seen those numbers, but I do know
Right.
that they're being calculated.
And you think it'd happen at the same time? They'd pull the property tax and implement state tax, or do you think that there'd be a gap? And
Well, it would have to go on the ballot. so it would have to be approved by the voters for property taxes to go away. And then, yeah, that they'd have to come up with some kind of mechanism before that actually went into place, before, yeah.
Yeah.
the revenue went away.
Yeah.
It's all quite concerning.
But then what they implement doesn't have to be voted on. Is that correct?
Right, I know the options they're looking at would be something that they.
Funny how that works.
Yes.
Funny how that works.
Okay.
I don't want to pay property.
Yes.
I know, it's like, but you have to see you have to see what that's gonna look like then, right? I mean, and without that information, a lot of people,
Might it be worse?
it,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
might be for some
it
people,
might
you
be.
know, yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things that you wanna make sure that you have all the data going in so that you can make an informed
get-
decision.
Yes.
Right, well, I mean, right,
Yes.
thank you, that is all.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Now we got the superintendent's report.
Okay, thank you. Okay, lots of things to go over, some for consumption over the week, like homework. And we can talk about that next week.
Can I go back though? I do need you to approve the 5-year forecast.
Oh,
Sorry.
Wasn't on there.
Yes, yeah, I just looked and I'm like, okay, it's on here, but
Oh,
yes, I do need an actual approval.
Sorry, I missed that.
That's okay.
Can I get a motion to approve the financial forecast as presented?
I'll move. I'll second.
Any other discussion?
I just want to point out that we have to approve this. We try not to do a lot of voting in work sessions, but this has to be approved by like tomorrow or something.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so that we can get to the state. So that is why we are voting in a work session.
Yes.
And I just want to say thanks to Jenny and Bob for taking the time to put together the notes, the forecast, the notes, and then the PowerPoint
Making
presentation.
it easy to understand. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Very much so.
Thank you.
And then BJ, roll please.
Mrs. Butler,
Yes?
Mrs. Kiplinger,
Yes.
Mrs. Donahue.
Yes.
Mr. B,
Yes.
Mrs. Leskowitz. Okay, now.
Now.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, a few things on here, and then I've got a couple house cleaning items, but just, October Cyber Safety Month, just to be aware, you know, we've talked about this in the past, we had a presentation about that, but I mean, I'm passionate about it because I've seen what it's done to families and kids, social media. You know, and we have children harming themselves. And I think we've had 3 suicides just in central Ohio and out this way in the last 4 weeks. And they all stem from social media. So I think, you know, it's like I've said before, it's one of those things that when your kids are doing something misbehaving, you can see it. That's one thing. This we can't see all the time. Right? So we just don't know what's going on. So just be aware of what your kids are doing and what they're doing on social media. So
Are you still working with that company that briefed us about the,
I do some conversations with them. I talked to Royce about it, the PTO president. They were interested. They're the ones that presented the board today. And so, I mean, I was going to offer it to them, to the parents if they wanted it. I just, every time I start to set a date, something else happens. So I'm just, but if they want to talk about it, they're more than welcome. The PTO was interested. I met with them. I know Mindy's got a PTO meeting there. So, but yeah, I know they were interested, but I think that's more of an advocacy awareness piece for people too. You know, it's like a nonprofit that presents, that was who presented here. It's amazing when they talk with people go, oh my God, I didn't realize that. You know, it's from that alone, I think, and there's resources on their website of how do I deal with this? How do I talk? You know, there's mechanisms to help kids. So, you know, it's just something that I'm just not a huge fan of social media. You know, I know we do it.
Didn't they have a product though or something that?
They do.
That you can.
Yeah, you can put
Purchase it, put it on your
app
phone.
on the parents' phone and just the kids.
Right, okay,
So,
that's what I thought.
and Roy said, you know, they were going to talk to PTO if they were interested. Sure. sure we can get it out here.
Mhm.
Everybody wants cost. I'm trying to get a deal from them. So, but yeah, I mean, but I think that, like I said, that's important. I just look at it as, I see all these things happen. In movies, documentaries, but then just the things that have happened in the last 3 weeks, like Central Ohio here. And it just doesn't need to be, so. Then gotta protect them. October 24th, National Bus Safety Week. FYI, I mean, we are still in need of drivers as well. So, I mean, we've got signs out, we're interviewing people still. So we're still down, what, 3? Couple now?
It's hard to say.
Yeah, but you know, the danger of that is it can start to affect athletics, right? I mean, we were sitting good. We have the buses, we just don't have the staff. So if we are fully staffed and we got everybody we need, we get our athletics on time. If we don't, then it's an issue. And we had discussions last Wednesday with a large group of us of what are some things that we can do if that happens. So we're not sitting around come basketball season. We need answers now so we can deal with what ifs. So try to be proactive about that. But I mean, we've got signs out. I mean, in fact, I was at a PTO meeting last month and one of the ladies' dads just moved back and retired and said he wanted to drive a bus. So I think we signed him up. So if you know anybody, if you're out there listening, want to drive a bus, come on over.
Get on the bus, Gus.
Yeah, exactly. Great song, by the way. So yeah, and the other thing too is if you're out there driving and you see people run reds, like if the flashers are on, you see people run those, please report them. I mean, we've had a couple instances last week where people ran the reds, the stop sign was out and they ran those. And we do have kids that cross the road sometimes, right?
Absolutely.
You know, and I was watching a video over the weekend where the bus actually, when it stopped, it went in the middle of the road.
Our buses do that. I see them.
I don't
do
see
that.
anything wrong with it.
No, but they do. They kind of cross
Yeah,
over
it
that
keeps them-
middle line. Not a lot, but
Yeah, it
enough.
helps.
Well, these
It
are both
does.
lanes,
Yeah,
yeah, it was
yeah,
really
to make
diagonal,
that- yeah.
both lanes.
You ever do that?
I lean on the center. I don't go across the line, but
Okay.
I'll do that.
I know a lot of yours is over
But-
there.
Jacob has done a really good job of trying to minimize crossing.
Yes, he has, but it's just sometimes inevitable.
I mean, it's like, I mean, I take 40 and I'll drop kids off on this side going out and on this side coming back. Here, I got a couple of kids on 201 that cross, but they're 6th grade and they're older kids at Zoom, where I actually had one parent ask that I'll make my child last on the trip when I'm coming back and let her 2 daughters.
So they don't have
in
to
the early
cross.
grades, so they don't have to cross. That doesn't bother me one bit. I mean,
Mhm.
if that can be worked around, Jacob's doing a very good job of doing that. And for Safety Week, he's got some plans for the bus drivers about evacuation plans and stuff, things that the state requests but doesn't demand. And we're gonna make sure we're filling all of those requirements. That helps us look better and make sure that our drivers are all learning for all the different situations.
I mean, he's working on that bus grant too.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so that's bus safety week. Need drivers. Strategic plan update. So what I'm gonna give you tonight is, I just got like literally probably about 5 o'clock tonight, the projection study that came back. Remember, we signed up for that projection, so because we want to do it too. We want to talk to the OFCC, but we also want one that's more realistic, I think, at times, right? So what I got is, I'm going to give you the Bethel Local School District enrollment data. I'm going to give you an enrollment projection, and I'm going to give you an enrollment analysis. So 3 reports. I'm going to send them to you electronically as well, but I like to read things, so I print them off for you. For you to take a look at, and we can discuss them next week. But what I haven't seen them all. And I haven't had time to read them. I just got them, but I thought I wanted to get them in your hands so you could review them. So I don't really want to talk about them tonight, but I think from I was in another meeting when I got it and I was paying attention to the last meeting. But trying to skip through it, and it's got some interesting data in it. I mean, our projections are, the growth isn't as bad as I anticipated, which is good, right? I mean, from a facility standpoint, especially, right? So, but look at it, and the other thing too, the people that did the analysis, they said they would be more than happy to review with our team, you know, specific questions, how they came to this analysis, so on and so forth. So if that's something you are interested in, let me know. We can arrange that as well. But like I said, I think we need to look at it and consider the data and see what happens from there. So with that being said, pass these out.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. So
So this is not a draft, but they're
this is not
final,
the draft, because they sent me a draft, and I didn't send the draft, because
Okay.
I don't like to send drafts, because then
then it's, yeah,
Then it's a draft.
thank you.
it's a
So,
draft.
so this is their.
So this is, I just got this.
Yeah,
And I'll
understand.
send it to you electronically too, but yeah, it's not the draft.
Okay, it's their final
It's the final one.
presentation.
And then what I like to do is put it out to, yeah, what I'd like to do is put it on I'll put it on the website. So you can see it. But I wanted you all to get eyes on it.
Thank you.
And here's the enrollment projection report.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate making copies.
Yeah, I want, you know what, I like copies. I'm a
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you could, and you could share this with facilities too, right? I mean, so
Okay.
but you can share that with people. But I want us all to take a look at it here. You want one?
Take that, sure.
Okay. I'll get it to you.
I'll find.
I'm gonna put them online. And then here's the analysis.
This is our homework for
This homework, yeah. I haven't done homework in a long time. Feels good.
You did a lot of, yeah, I was gonna say, you did a lot of joy on getting these out.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
So are these two different companies that did these? One from Frontline and one from the shared
I
service?
think they use Frontline to pull data.
I see, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Say company, but that's my assumption would be that the data came from. And we are currently sitting, and so when you look at those, our current enrollment as of today is 2,064.
And does that include students that are not on campus?
Yes.
Okay.
One thing when I glossed over those enrollment projection, I thought it wasn't as high as I thought it would be. Like I said, I think that is, and I stapled these when you look at them, you just
Flip it, I like
flip
it.
it. So, because I screwed up the printer too, because nobody was here when this came through. And I had to lay them all on the table and pick them up one by one and staple them, like I used to do 1990. So there you go. But it's, so those are the items for review. Like I said, I think there's some great data in there from what I could tell when I quickly looked over it. But take a look at it and we can talk next week. And if you want those folks to come talk to us, they can as well. Just let me know. And then I will get to the community with these. I'll get these online. I'll have Jacob or Jason. Jacob would put those online, right? Yeah. So I'll get Jacob to get on that and put those online for public to see. All right. The other thing regarding strategic plan is we did, just so the FYI, meet with a company called Four Seasons. And you know, Jenny and I both have used them in other districts we've worked in. Basically, it's a long-term maintenance plan. I think you use it currently, right? So you could probably talk more to it if you needed to. But what we don't have here is a plan for Todd and for, I mean, we're just sort of out there doing things, but we don't know for sure, like, are we doing the right thing? So we've engaged them in a conversation to help put some things together for us as well. And it all fits together, into one big, strategic plan that, as we continue to grow and move forward and, things change, it will help. And then the other one is, so if you would like to meet with FMD, so here's the other thing, so house cleanup. We have a board meeting in November, the same night as Capital Conference. Now, last year, I think we canceled the November board meeting and we had met down in Columbus. I don't care what you want to do. FMD will be there at the Capital Conference. Tim and Melanie are willing to talk to us about all the information that they're gathering. They have seen the enrollment projections as well. So if you would like to talk to them, I can set that up. And I don't know what you want to do about the board either. But I don't know who all's going. So.
It's a
something to
capital
think about.
conference,
Yeah,
is everything, I think just those two, just Regan and Jackie.
you going, Natalie?
I can't this year.
Okay. So, I mean, you'll have a quorum. I'll be done. So something to think about. But if Tim can come out in November as well, it doesn't have to be a meeting, but he can come out and talk to us. Maybe do it at the facility or something like that.
Because sorry, I was just looking at my calendar, what was the date on that?
17th?
Third Monday.
Yeah, 17th, that's when Capital Conference is.
It goes Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Early.
What was last year?
Okay, it seems like
It's
it,
later
okay.
this year.
Okay, that's why I was like.
16, 17, and 18.
It
It's
was.
last year, okay, okay, I'm not losing it.
Nope.
Yeah, 16, 17, 18. And our meeting's the 17th.
Mm-hmm.
You have to decide now. I just want to put it on our calendar. People will show up and someone's not here. And then also I'm got a meeting with Bill Keithler next Tuesday morning. And I'll have more information from him. We had a long conversation in town. I told him things I'll be looking, the information I want from him, and we're gonna have a conversation, and when I get all the information, I'll come back and let you know what he said.
Is he coming here?
No, I'm gonna meet him down there. Cause we live close there,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna meet him 7:30 in the morning. Down there.
In Columbus.
Yeah, I'll be up for hours by then. So. Sleep in. So, yeah, so that is Keithler FMD. I want you to have all the studies. We talked about the conflict for the November board meeting. And then before I go on to the safety update, so this resolution, let's talk real quick about this before I do this. All right, we passed it. Bob's got the resolution number. And I verified 3 times with OFCC and with FMD that if we participate in this, it doesn't preclude us from anything and we can walk away at any time and it doesn't cost anything.
Thank you.
Good?
Yes.
Okay. Is that because of this?
No, not exactly.
The
Okay.
peanut gallery.
So I waited to talk to y'all about this, but I'm gonna go ahead and send it over. Because I can assure you that nothing will happen bad. So
We don't have to take it any further if we.
we can walk away anytime you want. Yep. True?
Yes.
Yeah, they seem to believe you more than me. So. But, see, there you go. Yeah. So, all right.
Do we
And
have to tell them by a certain time that we don't want to,
walk away at any time.
and if it expired on a certain date and went into.
No. And it's not this, I mean, yeah, it's nothing pretty, I mean, it might be helpful information, it'd be nice to compare. What we've got and what they've got. See what it says. And then safety update, so we are going to, over Thanksgiving and Christmas break, we're going to put vinyl wrappings on these windows.
Awesome.
And this is what it's gonna look like. Another handout,
Just on the windows?
on all the.
All the
All
windows.
those windows.
All the other.
And that's what it looked like. So the top window will be open for light The rest of it's not.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
And is this kind of like that Mylar stuff where they're
Come on.
kind of like?
Take it out too. What's that?
Is this kind of like that Mylar stuff where if it's shattered, it wouldn't go everywhere kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, okay, it's not
Kinda like-
like, don't confuse it with bulletproof.
It's not
This is
bulletproof, no, but
But
it is.
Glass.
Glass.
It'll keep it from flying everywhere. It's kind of like these windows, like out here.
It's kind of like their glass on your windshield, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
It
goal is get so
absorbs the
it absorbs, doesn't shatter everywhere.
Right,
to
right.
cut down on distraction.
But the biggest
Oh,
goal
yeah.
is when you walk into this fishbowl,
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
it bothers me from a security standpoint and
Absolutely.
it bothers me from an educational standpoint.
It bothered everybody from the beginning.
Yeah, because I walk through the hall, I mean, kids are
They're
kids,
like,
like, hey. It's like,
But
you know,
this one,
maybe some of the teachers like, all right.
But they can't see
you
out
can't
of
see through this one, right?
So you can't see the second and third tier. If you start from the top, first tier is open, like here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That first tier would be open. Those bottom two would have the wrapping up.
But
perfect.
they
So you can't see feet walking by, you can't see people waving,
Yeah,
and people can't see who's in the room.
that's perfect.
And you said it's white on the back, so they could actually write on the glass, kind of like a.
Yeah, that's
Or-
my understanding. They can use it, they can
Plasma.
see out, or they can. You can't see in, or they
Right.
can use it to do some stuff on it. That's what I-
Nice.
So, and we'll see. We got a good deal on it and so they're gonna start at Thanksgiving and should finish by Christmas.
Awesome, thank you.
And did, is this a company that we've used before? Have
We
they
have.
done some of the other stuff?
Same one, and it's, I
Okay.
think it's local, but we've used it before.
Okay,
David and Todd knew them,
oh, okay. Yeah, from before.
yeah,
Like,
so.
do
So
you
that,
think it'll take a long time?
they are projected, they estimated they would be done by New Year's, like after Christmas break, they would be finished.
So they'll just do it on days that there aren't students here.
Yep,
Nice.
you know, they may come work election day, we're gonna do remote learning
Mhm.
for
Any day.
grades 5 through 12. So they could work other places, right? Elementary will be on their normal schedule. I don't think it's gonna be a huge train. Yeah, so I mean, they'll may start working there. They said they may work some weekends. They'll work over Thanksgiving break, they'll work over Christmas break. So it should be done by January 1.
Very nice.
So I think it'll help a lot.
Mhm.
You know, I think makes me feel better. It should make them feel better. It should make everybody feel better. So I think that, you know, and we'll see. I'm gonna compare grade point averages this 9 weeks, to the last year's 9 weeks. And after the final goes up, we'll see if the grade point average even goes up higher.
There you go.
Just how they're out waving at everybody that walks by. So we'll see.
Take the phones into consideration too.
But that's what I want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to do the first 9 weeks this year. Last year, we talked about that.
Mhm.
Is the GPA better? I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I've got data that shows like what kids read at each year, right? What kids' math scores are each year. Like, it's easy to pull them. You stick, but I'd be curious to see next year what last year's data is in this year. So it'd be interesting. So that's my safety update. And then I just want to say thank you to Alaron. I know they out off Wildcat Drive.
Mhm.
So you got to see the facility, what was that, last month? Yeah, so we're doing budgets out at Alaron. So the problem is I have principals meetings, I have directors meetings. I can have those here. But when I have an all staff meeting, I've got like 20 people that I need to talk to, because it includes the athletic directors, treasurers, all the principals, maintenance, you know, and we don't have enough room. And Alaron has given, once a month, they let us use the room down here for free, which is nice. And they've given me an office too at times. It's a little tiny office down by the water there. Because about 2:30, they come in with weights, and then during the day, sometimes you're hitting ball against the wall, recess, and I'm on the phone and it's going thump, thump, thump. What is that? So it's a little difficult at times. So anyway, I just want to thank them. And I know we had budget meetings out there as well. And that's what you saw. So it's a nice facility, and I just wanted to thank them for that. And that is my update.
Thank you.
May I ask another question,
Yes.
sort of related to number one? Did the school have to file a cybersecurity plan in the month of October?
Jason?
You want a preview for next week?
Oh,
It's on the agenda.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
you wanna talk about the whole thing?
No, give it an overview.
Yes, yes.
So-
yes, you did.
We can talk about it in more details next week, but basically, it's a multi-step process. House Bill 96, as you may know, requires all districts to pass a cybersecurity framework. I've put it on the agenda, so that you can take a look at it. You're just adopting the framework, which is a template. That's all you're doing right now. That's the minimum that we have to do for July 1st of next year, so we're way ahead of the game. After you adopt it, I work on it to actually create the plan, the documentation, which is gonna be 30-something pages long. It's also gonna include my disaster recovery plan, which I have been working on. I worked on it at the beginning of this calendar year and got it almost done, but then this is gonna let me finish it, basically. And so then I will present you guys with, well, I'll present you with two things. You guys can see the full document if you want, but then I'm gonna have a summarized document that you will then essentially adopt as the finalized plan that won't have all the details in it because we don't want to make all of our
Yeah.
security stuff public.
Understandable.
But you guys will have access to find the full. So there you go.
Thanks.
That's good timing.
I was
Planned
teeing you
that.
up.
Little preview next week.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
We can-
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Any other question? Could I get a motion then to go into an executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of an employee or official? And also to discuss preparations for conducting or reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with.
But we didn't have any other preference, right?
No.
Okay. I'll move.
Oh.
Move.
Did move second. Did we have public participation?
I had two
I do.
cards and they both talked. Do you have more?
Go ahead.
I have, just say one thing. It's good. It's good.
Oh, then go ahead.
Any positives, but I want to say thank you for the stuff on the windows. We have been fighting for that since the day this building opened. I get the distraction and everything and I agree 100% with that, but from an active shooter standpoint, the kids need a place in the room where they can't be seen if they're in the room or not. So we've been fighting for that a long time, couldn't even have curtains, couldn't put paper on the window. I mean, name it, whatever the reason was, but thank you very much for that.
Welcome. Thank you. Is it good?
Good, good or two.
Okay.
Also, along with the active shooter, I have found out that a lot of people don't want to carry guns in school. So I'm suggesting those people to use the bee wasp spray that sprays 25 to 30 feet. I don't care if they blind the shooter. I just don't want to get shot. And that way, if you have an aversion to guns, that there would be a deterrent, because it shoots a pretty good stream at least 25 feet.
And we have safety buckets in all the classrooms too.
With the safety
So it's
bucket.
got like hammer and different things that Scott Lake put in there in case of emergency.
I was looking
That's
about
something with that.
the shooting that was in Connecticut. The woman came out of her office, the secretary did, to confront the guy. If she had a 25-foot shooter wasp hornet spray, it would have slowed him down a lot.
Mhm.
But yeah, I like the bucket there, and they didn't know about the bucket.
Yeah, we put those, well, like I said, we don't tell everybody what we got because it's scary, but we have things in the.
You have things available.
Mhm.
But
We
you
do.
know, I said, because I know Tom's daughter is very anti-gun. I'm going. Yes, I was there. Guns have purposes, and she may find hers quick. I mean, I didn't say that. So thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and then also the motion would include, did I say both of them? For reasons for an executive session?
Yes.
Yes, okay,
Employee and negotiate.
Yep.
Is that it?
yeah, for G1 and G4.
Yeah.
I think we have two motions at one time.
Yes, so that's 1 and 2.
Nothing said, yeah. No discussion. You take roll, please.
Mr. Beat,
Yes.
Mrs. Kiplinger,
Yes.
Mrs. Butler.
Yes.
Mrs. Donahue,
Yes.
Mrs. Leskowitz.
Yes.
And no new business right afterward.
Nope.
So,
Yeah.
just so you guys know, there won't be any business afterwards.
Not at all, nothing?
Are you expecting
What'd you do?
something?